Welcome back to the Simply Smarter podcast. We're so excited for today's podcast because we have two of the founders of The Future of Us, which is an organization founded by college students who identified a disparity in the amount of college opportunities as well as support for students from more affluent communities than their own. And they decided to do something about it. So we're just really excited to have them on the show today. And we have Caleb here as well. Hi, Caleb.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
So good. So good.
Good. 2021.
2021, finally.
Awesome.
We made it.
It's been a ride already, but...
Well into January.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually almost over. January has gone
That's terrifying.
Pretty fast.
Yeah.
So, but that's good. That's good. Let's keep on going. Keep on going, right? Let's see what February brings. So, well, without further ado, I would like to welcome the founders of The Future of Us, Brennan Latimer and Precious Awopito. Hi, guys.
Welcome, guys.
Hello. Hey, thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're so excited for you guys to be on the podcast today.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to it for a while. I had a run-in with the old tonsil doctor last month, so
Yes.
Here we are.
Yeah, I hope everything went okay with that.
Yeah, it was a lot of ice cream involved, so I can't complain.
Yeah, that's a win.
I know, right?
I love it.
Yeah. Can I get some chocolate this time instead of vanilla? Yeah, I feel like that's okay. Well, good. Well, we just kind of wanted to jump in and kind of just go from the beginning. Like, how did you two meet? And there was actually another guy in the picture as well. So kind of tell me how you guys met and kind of how The Future of Us kind of sparked and began.
Well, as far as the meeting, I've known Precious since 6th grade band class.
Nice.
And
What instrument did you play?
We were both percussionists.
Excellent.
Nice.
Cool.
Yep. So we've been friends ever since. And as far as our third member, we also met in school. So yeah, it's just been a triangle of friendship since our teens, I guess.
Very cool. So you guys are pretty tight. I mean, you've known each other for a really long time. I love that.
Yeah. I think we're both the type of people that, kind of hold on to those long-standing friendships. So it's been nice, seeing each other grow and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's important to have those type of friendships in your life.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that.
And so, honestly, we obviously went to the same high school, and we parted ways for college. As we kind of went through that, we had our own experiences with college. Maybe we can have a chance to talk about that separately, but we came back together and we're kind of addressed this problem that we both experienced in different ways, and we didn't want to be the type of people that, identify a problem and say they're going to, do something about it one day if they ever get rich or whatever like that. And we feel we could help out, as soon as possible, and we just dove right in pretty much.
Yeah. And I feel like there's several types of people. One's like you guys, where you see a problem and you do something about it. The other type of people is that they just ignore it. Right. And then the third type of people, they're thinking, I see the problem, but I don't know what to do. And so it lays there and nothing ever gets done.
Yeah, for sure. And, we were definitely passionate about it, but we really didn't know what to do either. But we didn't want to be that type of person that just kind of lays around and spends life trying to figure it out and lets opportunities pass them by. So, like I said, we just kind of jumped right in, held our feet to the fire.
Yeah, awesome. So tell me about some of the experiences that you identified in college separately that made you think, okay, this isn't quite right, and there's an idea forming, and let's do something about it. What were some of those experiences that you both had?
I'll let Precious can speak to his experiences first, if that's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so my experience with college, when I first was applying to school and trying to get into school, I kind of really didn't know what to do. I was the first one in my family to go to university, so I was learning everything as things went, as things was going by. So it wasn't like the best experience because obviously with you learning as you go, there's going to be things you miss out on.
Right.
So when I got to school, I didn't know there were scholarships that were available for different ethnic groups. I didn't know there were even scholarships available that the school had.
Yep.
So I missed out on some of that money. I didn't really know about different majors. I went to school as a nursing major at first, but as through my career in college, I changed my majors several times because I just didn't even know there were those opportunities out there. And some of those I feel like if someone would have told me about that, in high school, I would be way prepared. I would have been better, prepared to in college. I would have made less mistakes, and I probably would have navigated college a little bit better.
Right.
When me, Brennan, and our other friend were talking about it, that was one of the things that we really wanted to hit and make sure that we're able to help younger students and help people that are trying to transition to college that might not have that experience or might not even know what they're doing. Just help them, get that foundation, and that would probably allow them to navigate college a little bit better. And that was pretty much my experience. I really didn't have. I had one scholarship in college, but that was only for my first 2 years, and then after that, I had to take out loans and so on. So that was just a little bit of my experience.
Yeah.
Brennan
Yeah.
talk about his.
Yeah, I feel like there's a huge learning curve, right? And if, like you said, if you're the first one in your family to go to college, you're the one learning that all on your own.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big jump.
And people only go through it once, right? It's like one of those life experiences. You only do it once, so you become an expert, and then you never do it again.
Yeah.
or you learn a lot, and then you don't go through it again. So I love that you guys are out there supporting other students.
Yeah. What about your high school counselors? Did they not really guide you as they should have, or did you not feel comfortable reaching out to them? Or because they're always a good resource to have, but I myself, I honestly don't remember ever going to a high school counselor. So I really didn't take advantage of that knowledge. So just asking this, was that kind of the same for you?
Yeah, so actually we had a high school counselor, and I don't really remember him being that much of a help. I remember seeing him a few times, and so, but we never, I don't know about Brennan, but we never talked about kind of ACT. We didn't talk about applying to school, especially scholarships. We didn't talk about that at all. So he was definitely there. I just don't know. Maybe he just wasn't doing his job, or maybe he just had too much going on.
Yeah.
So he was there, and I actually knew him pretty well, but it was just something that at the time in high school, he never brought it up, and I'm not thinking about that at the time. So it wasn't. It was kind of. We didn't have that conversation, so it ended up being me just learning on my own, and also kind of did things a little bit last minute because also I didn't know what I was doing. So, by the time I was in school, and I was doing all my research and everything, he was already done with school. So I'm learning. He's not even a resource for me anymore. So, that's kind of how things went with him.
Yeah. There's definitely a timeline. I mean, there's definitely a timeline for you should be doing this at this point, in your ACT at one point, looking at different colleges, actually now doing Zoom, visiting when you can. But that's a good point. If you're off on your timeline, that definitely does affect a lot. So where did you end up going to school then, Precious? And what was your major?
Yeah, so when I applied to two schools, I applied to Mizzou and I applied to Missouri State. I went to Missouri State because it was a cheaper option, and I ended up finishing with a degree in exercise science.
Awesome.
And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And hopefully I plan to get back into grad school here pretty soon.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on graduating and being the first person in your family to graduate college. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I bet your family was so excited for you.
They were very excited. In our culture, we celebrate pretty big.
Yeah.
So we had a big celebration for my graduation, and it was a good time.
Oh, I love that.
That's great.
That's so great. So, Brandon, do you have anything to add, Caleb?
No, I'm just fascinated. I love stories and I love hearing about people's lives. This is cool.
Same. I love learning about people's backgrounds. So, Brandon, what's your story? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I kind of so Ruskin, the high school we went to, is one of those Kansas City schools that is a very highly, held very highly comparatively from schools even 15 minutes away.
Right.
But I was a really good student, and I got really good grades, and I tested really high on standardized tests, and there was just a contrast between my experience and the experiences of my friends, where people were kind of clamoring to help me find scholarships and help me throughout, certain things like that. And it was just a stark contrast between the opportunities that were presented to my friends, and even further, the opportunities that I was getting as far as my test scores and GPAs compared to students in more affluent communities and their test scores and GPAs. So there's really a lot of different levels to the experiences of high school students that I identified as I talked to people from other high schools at the time, or even when I got into college and talked to, those students. I thought I was being catered to at my school. And, it was a whole different level from kids that went to different schools, and they had a whole different stream of information and knowledge and preparedness that, I thought I was 5 steps ahead of, the people I was graduating with.
Right.
And really, come to find out I was 10 steps behind some other students that I encountered in college.
Right. That's really interesting.
That perspective.
Yeah, it really is. And I appreciate you sharing. It's kind of like once you get out of this Johnson County bubble, there's a whole new world, right? There's a lot of different things that we are learning about. And, we have a tendency to cater to, Blue Valley students and Shawnee Mission students and Olathe and private schools, right? So that's a lot of the students that we cater to. So that's really interesting to have a different perspective.
Yeah, it was such a, kind of the big fish theory, you know what I mean? And just how I, in reality, was kind of middle of the pack coming out of high school. I worked really hard in college and stuff like that, but just in terms of being prepared, there are students that took their ACT 3 times, 4 times in high school, and I took mine twice, I think. And they started their sophomore year to get the feel of things, and I didn't take my ACT my first time until my junior year, and they took it just streams of information like that we just didn't have.
Yep.
And we don't realize it until, like you said, we kind of step outside of this bubble and get experiences with, different people,
right,
from different areas. And there's always, you see, because I played sports and Precious did too. We always go to other schools and see how much wealthier the school is and how much nicer things look, and you see the students' cars in the parking lot. But it's really not just like a money thing. It's really like a stream of information, shared experiences, passed down knowledge that a lot of kids from these types of schools are lacking.
Yeah. And like you said, it's 15 minutes from a different school.
Right.
It's close. It's really close.
It's crazy. You go 15 minutes east of Ruskin and you're in the Lee Summit School District, and then you go 15 minutes west and you're like in the Blue Valley School District.
Yep.
And it's a totally different world, and with totally different expectations and infrastructures and everything like that built around their students.
Yep. So, Brennan, did you get quite a few scholarships then?
So yeah, I got a lot. I got a lot of scholarship money coming out of college.
Good.
But the one, coming out of high school. But the one that really stuck with me was. So it was. I'm not going to mention the name of the scholarship, but it was these old white men that I had never met in my life. I never talked to them. I was informed they wanted, to me to write an essay and do the whole scholarship process and stuff like that. And I got the scholarship, and they dispersed my scholarship one semester out of my whole. It was supposed to be like a 4-year scholarship, and they dispersed it once out of the whole my whole college journey. And terrible. It really stuck with me because I didn't know who they were. Like, I had never seen them before or anything like that. And they contacted me a couple times my freshman year of high school and said they were going to send the money and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Not that, I was in dire need of it, but it just kind of showed me about community and how, front of the mind we could be to people from other communities. And that's why I think it's important for me and Precious to give back to where we come from, so we could see, so the students can see that we're doing this and we sat in the same chairs as you guys, and we dress like you guys, we listen to the same music and stuff like that. So that was another thing that gave me a lot of perspective on who the scholarships are coming from.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
First and foremost.
Very good point. Well, and they said they were going to give this to you, and then you were, like you said, not depending on it, but you were, kind of expecting it at least.
Right.
Yeah, luckily for me, I guess that I wasn't depending on it. Had it been another student, who knows?
Right. And so you went to KU.
Yeah.
And then you graduated. What was your degree?
So I went to KU and got a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics.
Nice.
And
you're a numbers guy.
On my, yeah. So I'm working on my master's right now.
Very good.
In applied statistics.
Wow, that's awesome.
We're gonna have to talk about that. you and I.
Yeah. Caleb is also a numbers guy. I will fall asleep, so maybe Precious and I can hang out while you and Caleb talk numbers.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Okay, so then you have these different experiences in college, and you're still communicating, you're still good buddies, and then was it after college that you kind of started talking, and is that when these sparks started flying and you're like, okay, hold on, we got to do something about this?
Yeah, so I would say it was after college, it's something that I've always wanted to do, is to be able to give back. But I felt like I was always waiting to hit a certain level of success before it happened.
Right.
But once I graduated college, I got a job and stuff like that, and I just felt, sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
And it's not something that Precious and I, or the three of us, had talked about doing collectively, but I brought it up, and everybody had kind of the same passion for our experiences, or passion and compassion for our experiences.
Yeah.
And wanted to make a difference such that who we're impacting also wants to make a difference.
Yep. I'm sure your friends and your families were so proud of you and so excited. Like, what was their original thoughts? What were they thinking?
Precious, you could take the floor.
Well, they were very excited. There was just so many questions like, oh, how are you guys going to get the money? How are you guys doing this? But luckily, there was a lot of people that kind of rallied behind us, especially my family and friends, to just show support. There's a lot of social media posts, a lot of reposts that were getting us out there.
Yep.
I think like on our first, like one of our photos that we uploaded, almost like 500 likes.
Nice.
So there was a lot of support that were around us, and it was just really nice to see. Even I told Brennan this, my kindergarten teacher had reached out to me, and literally haven't spoke to him in so many years. Mm-hmm. And he had seen our post in the magazine, and he was just telling us that, just telling me good things. He's so proud of me. This and that. So it was just really nice to see everyone gathered behind us. And
that's great.
That's so sweet, especially your kindergarten teacher. Like, that's the beginning, right? I mean,
literally the beginning. So it was awesome.
That's awesome. So it was founded. The Future of Us was founded in 2020, right before the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Extra challenge.
Right. You're on a roll. You're super excited. You've got, your website, your logo. You've got all of these thoughts, all these, students lining up, I'm sure. And then the pandemic hit. So tell us a little bit about that. What halted, what, still continued to grow. Give us your experience with that from last year.
Yeah, so one of the things we were really passionate about was being able to interact with students directly and, kind of be like a tangible figure rather than, someone just writing a check somewhere. Mm-hmm. And we had, started, I had spoke to my high school, the teacher, I came and spoke to his class kind of about college. Well, mostly it was supposed to be about my, career path, and it ended up that the students were just like so interested in college and kind of how things go. And we were trending down the path of being really in touch with students and things like that, and then next thing you know, the school shut down. So that was kind of that was really a bummer for us because it's something that we really held with high regard. Is when even when we were in high school, is when people would come in and talk to us and meet us and take the time out of their day to answer questions and stuff. It was you can't put a price on someone's time. Well, you can, but
but it's more than that, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So that was something that we really missed in 2020.
Yeah.
But as far as everything else, the world is so digital now. It really sparked us to try to get better at the social media thing, which we're still kind of working on. We looked at different avenues for, getting our name out there, and that's kind of how we came across the Leawood magazine.
Yep.
And the Joco magazine. I don't think that would have ever happened without COVID.
Right.
So it's had its goods and bads.
Yeah. Well, sure. And interestingly enough, that's how we found you too. Was through one of the magazines, and
I was flipping through it at home and brought it in and showed Jill. So.
Yeah, and I was like,
here we are.
This is amazing. I love what they're doing. Let's partner with them. So yeah, I know it's really interesting how the pandemic has, I guess, unlocked a lot of different creative measures within different people and companies, businesses, and everyone has had to rethink everything, right? And so I know we did in March and April, we were scrambling so many. I think we changed messaging a handful of times, and really none of it worked because everything was just on pause. I mean, it was this huge pause button. but it made you grow as a company, even in your creative marketing and the way you're doing things and handling things. So hopefully the worst is behind us and the vaccine is out. So yeah, hopefully things are starting to slow down with the COVID. So
I remember just an anecdote. I remember we were kind of in the thick of the pandemic, and we were, kind of worried because we were going through our process already of our awarding our scholarship. And I tell the guys, I'm like, if we can make it through this year, if we pull it off this year, our first year, not knowing what we're doing with COVID, on top of everything else, like, we're going to be fine going forward. And we did it. So, I mean, hopefully 2020 is even bigger and better.
Yeah, 2021 is it's looking bright. It's looking bright.
Yeah, for sure.
So how on a normal month to month, how do students apply for your scholarships and what you're offering?
So right now we open our scholarship on February 1st, and we close the applications at the end of March. So last year, this goes toward us not knowing what the heck we're doing and trying to be creative around COVID. We didn't have a website. We didn't have anything like that. We just kind of asked them to distribute Google Forms through their student emails. So every high school senior got an email at Ruskin High School, and that was it. I mean, the applicants filled out a Google form. We did and kind of like a submission round where you submitted a piece to us, and then we did an interview round, and then we chose a winner. But as we look to expand, it's going to be more through us, not through Ruskin. It's going to be you go to our website, you apply, and we find students that way. But like I said, it's something that really is important to us is getting in the schools. So as we talk to more schools and partner with them, I think we'll just continue to get more and more applicants that way.
Yeah, awesome. More students to help, absolutely. And we're excited to be partnering with you for the 2021 ACT test dates. So we're hoping to get a student from you here in the next week or so for the April test date.
Right.
For the ACT, it's a little bit of a process. It's an 8 to 10 week lead time, obviously prepping all the way up into that test date. So we are committed to helping the future of us and your organization by choosing, I guess, which would probably be best, a student for each ACT test date for 2021. So we're excited to help the students that you guys choose and who you think is worthy or, a well-deserved student.
Yeah, we're really excited and thankful for you guys providing the opportunity to a student that we can relate with in their high school experience. And I don't know about you, Precious, but I don't think, I think maybe I studied for the ACT like on my own, but as far as a structured way to get better at your ACT, there were just no resources that came to us like that in high school. Do you remember?
No, at all. I think the only resource we had was that ACT was free.
Yeah.
And that was it. So, I think I studied maybe a couple days for it.
Yeah, but it's hard to study if you don't know how.
It's a lot, for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
Even with good resources, sometimes students feel overwhelmed just because it is such a big test. So we're excited to be able to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so important. So I just thank you guys. And it's funny that it's actually kind of funny that we partnered with you guys for this, because we had to kind of advertise our scholarship as, we're not basing your scholarship award off of these metrics that people usually base things off of. And here we are helping students. So it's come full circle.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's a well-rounded, right? I mean, the ACT is a piece of that puzzle.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. Well, who was the scholarship winner last year and for you guys, and what are they doing now?
There was a young lady named Mayati Vanzaya. She's also a first-generation college student. I think her family came to America from Ghana. Correct me if I'm wrong, Precious?
Ghana.
Yeah. So she's not only a first-generation college student, she's a first-generation Ghanaian American in her family.
Nice.
I think the rest of her complete family is still in Ghana. She's salt of the earth, a really good girl. She's very family oriented, and one of those people that when you talk to, you sense the strength in her personality. And she was just she really lit up our interview, and we both just gravitated to her. We wanted to talk to her, and ask her questions and stuff like that. And those are the type of people that you don't see every day, especially at a high school age. So we were really excited to help her. Such a confident person.
That's amazing. Amazing. I'm excited to hear more about her. And do you guys do kind of follow-ups for on your website about your scholarship students?
Yeah. So we published that piece on our website, kind of the same thing that was published in the Leawood magazine. Mm-hmm. But we are planning to reach out to her next month as she gets through her first month of college, because she had to start, second semester because of some external forces that were kind of out of her control.
Sure.
As far as but so yeah, we look to follow up with her after her first month of college and see how she's doing and see if we can help her in any way. And I think that's another thing that Precious and I were passionate about is kind of, there was some study we saw about how students receive all this scholarship money, but the money doesn't provide the structure and doesn't provide the benefit that structure and support would. Mm-hmm. And so we really want to make sure that we kind of keep touching base with her and just see how she's doing, especially as two students that have been through it kind of alone and first in their family. Yep. There could be a lot of timelines and deadlines and things like that, and kind of sweet spots for getting things done that we could share with her as far as our experiences. So
I love that.
Yeah, we're in a corner for sure.
Yeah. Well, and you guys, it says on your website, but you guys really are mentors. That's what you are to all of these scholarship winners. Are you're in their corner, you're fighting for them and giving them all of the resources and all the pieces that they need to succeed.
Yeah, for sure. And I just want to reiterate our thanks, because you guys are a piece that they need, and we're glad to, and we're just so excited to bring introduce you guys to some students, and I think you'll be impressed with the work ethic and things like that. So just thank you again.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited to meet some of these students.
This is great, because we're always looking for ways to give back. And this is perfect. I love it.
Yeah, I know. Well, what are some of your big goals for 2021?
So this year, we did one student last year. We want to be able to handle and support a larger number this year. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's part of growing, and each year we really want to grow each year. But also 2021, I hope to speak it into existence. I really hope that we can kind of be able to build a relationship more with students, and even if it's not a one-on-one relationship, I just hope we can get in front of some students this year. Mm-hmm. And talk to them and kind of field their questions. And I think it's important to kind of stay in touch with, because things change. The process is going to change. Right. It's going to be different from when Precious and I did it in a few years. Mm-hmm. That was 5 years ago now.
Right. That's a good point.
7 years ago now. So I undershot my age already.
You guys feeling old now, aren't you?
Yeah,
I won't.
exactly.
We won't talk about how long ago it was for us.
Caleb and I are thinking the same thing. We're like,
Oh, just 7 years ago.
wouldn't that have been
Man.
nice to be 7 years ago?
So yeah, but the process is going to change. It's not going to stay the same. There's going to be new things, and I think us staying in touch with that is going to be important going forward if we want to be good mentors to students. So we look forward to that, and just in total, being able to provide high school students with more resources, more confidence. Speak life into college, because a lot of it is the financial toll that it'll take on you and how it'll set you back. I'm sure Precious, we both heard these things in high school, just the negatives of college, when really there's a lot of opportunity there. There's a lot of personal growth that happens in college. There's a lot of where you really find yourself and what you're interested in. I mean, they say, college isn't for everybody, but which I do believe, but there's also something in college for everybody. So
Right.
We just want to help change the narrative all in all, and continue to do that this year.
Awesome. I love it. And what about like the bigger picture? Where do you guys see yourself maybe in like 5 to 10 years?
So I don't know how long it's going to take, obviously, but one of our goals is, to send a student to college with no expense, all expenses assumed by us. So I don't know if that's going to take 5 years. I don't know if that's going to take 10 years. I don't know if that's going to take 20 years. But bigger picture, we want to be able to sponsor students in that way, just to give them the opportunity, the peace of mind, and the support that they need. So
Yeah.
that's our big lofty goal. It's not very tangible right now, but we're it's a work in progress for sure.
Yeah. Well, and what a blessing. I mean, that would be, such a blessing to a family and a student to be able to not only, from I might want to go to college. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if it's feasible. There's so many steps to you guys stepping in and saying, no, here's the steps. We'll show you how. And not only will we show you how, but we're actually going to pay for your college. And, we see you dreaming big and we want to help you along the way. That's huge.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the students who are honestly that are lucky enough to have their family support in this, and I say lucky because not everybody does, either for lack of family or for lack of support. And even the students that do, it's not just a toll on them. It's a toll on parents that are willing and trying to take out as many loans as they need to give their child the opportunity. I mean, there's moms and dads that'll do whatever it takes just to send their kid to school because they didn't get the chance.
Right.
Or it's really like a family thing sometimes. And
Sure.
I think, as much as we can alleviate that pressure, we would like to.
Amazing. Well, how can all of our listeners and supporters connect with you? Give us your shameless plug.
Go ahead, Pete. Shout us out.
We have two forms of social media. We have Instagram and Facebook, and it's all at the FOU Scholarship. And we're still trying to be more, trying to be more up to date on our Instagram and Facebook and post more. And then we also have our website, thefouscholarship.com, the FOUscholarship.com. So those are three forms of social media streams and internet that website that you guys can reach out to us at.
Very good. And we will put the links in the show notes as well. So they can just go ahead and click on the link and make it really easy to either donate or follow or just give positive vibes.
Yeah. We welcome it all.
Awesome. Well, I think we could probably talk all day, but we should maybe wrap this up. It's just been amazing to talk to you guys and get to know your story a little bit. We've been following you for a few months, and we're just so happy to be connected with you and to help you guys in your goals. And we're really happy to have you on the show today.
Yeah, and we're happy to be working with you guys. And again, thank you so much for the opportunity that you're providing to a student of our choice, or to students of our choice. Mm-hmm. I wish we could express how much it means, but it's just one of those things. If you know, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've had like a huge smile on my face this whole time.
Yeah, me too. No,
Caleb and I are just like, this is amazing.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us today and kind of letting us join with you and partnering with you to kind of help make a difference in students' lives and help them better understand the process and again, achieve some big goals that they may have.
Yeah, for sure. Let's make 2021 a great year.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to our Simply Smarter podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast to stay informed about all things ACT related. And please be sure to give us a 5-star review. See you next time.
High school can be tough. We'll help you navigate some of the areas you need help with, including the college preparation process, by providing advice for families. Every student is different and has a unique path. That's why we created this podcast. Our innovative and intentional approach builds confidence in the individual student. Listen each week to find out how students can score better on college placement tests with techniques and methods that build confidence, beat test anxiety, and identify strengths within each student. You're listening to Simply Smarter with hosts Caleb and Jill. Check out our blog at GetSmarterPrep.com for more college prep related topics.